Hey everyone, thanks for joining for the fourth video of the series. Yep, that's the fourth one. Oh wow. Okay. Moving on to the next team, security architect engineering. Um, this team is mix of both security administrators. They do need to have knowledge of security tools, but they also need to have knowledge of IT architecturing and normal architect and engineering side as well. A security architect and engineering team plays a critical role within the information security team. They are responsible for designing, developing, and implementing secure systems and infrastructure to protect an organization's sensitive data and information assets. They do a POC of new security tools, implement, test them, hand it over to security administrator for maintenance and operations. Okay, so they look very similar to security administrator's team. Obviously, since they're implementing security technologies in the similar domains, they look very close to security administrators, but and they follow the similar kind of technology stack. There will be sub team of endpoint security, sub engineers who are expert in endpoint security part. Some engineers will be um, good in network security side. Some will be in obviously entity security. So how does that work? Obviously, like um, an example, like okay, we see that okay, an endpoint security tool is coming to end of contract. Now security architects and engineering team will collect feedback, you know um, or survey, you can say, from incident responder, security analyst, that hey, is this tool covering your needs or not, or is there any major gaps that you see that which ask for replacement of this tool. And if incident responders say that okay, this tool is missing a capability where I cannot remotely log in into an endpoint, I don't have any control on the endpoint, in that case um, a new requirements will be collected. Okay. So a new requirements will be collected, and it will take feedback from different stakeholders of the technology. It can be IT team. So you can ask IT team that hey, which systems do we have, what is the operating systems, are we having any x32 or x only or 64-bit systems, do we have Linux Mac systems where we have to where this agent has to be compatible with, are we thinking of rolling it out on maybe a mobile device or maybe some other sort of devices, maybe registers, POS devices and stuff like that. So we need to s- gather all those requirements from different stakeholders. I just gave an example of requirement gathering from IT. Then the other stakeholder, security team, obviously. Security administrators are also one more stakeholder for these guys, because ultimately they will be taking care of the tool. Maybe you have to take feedback from governance and policy side as well, um, and so on and so forth. So once you collect all the requirements, you do you connect with different vendors. You that hey, are your tools meeting this, are your tools meeting this? If some, let's say, two or three vendors come back and hey, we are meeting these requirements, then how you have to evaluate them. So the architects and engineering team will be evaluating those by doing a POC. So they will install the agent uh, on couple of endpoints. They will see that hey, are the requirements meeting or not. If so, they might even ask stakeholders to test it out first, that hey, is it easy, is it achieving the goals that you perceived. uh, Once you have that POC done, uh, so there will be some evaluation, obviously evaluation criteria as well as behind it. Once that's done, then you start noting down the technical specification, like okay, what sort of features are actually expected. So these will be like a formal document, like hey, these features are required maybe in IT administration bucket, these features are required from security monitoring perspective bucket, these features are required from incident response perspective and bucket and stuff like that. So all those features will be categorized into several buckets, and then it gets written as a technical specification that this is expectations I need from these different vendors. So the next step will be an RFP creation. RFP stands for request for proposal. So you write an RFP where some sort of legal requirements will be also mentioned in there, like what is the licensing requirement, what sort of license you're looking forward, what kind of bomb components. So bomb basically means bill of material, what kind of material you are expecting from the vendors and stuff like that. Then you invite those three vendors that hey, participate in this RFP, and will evaluate you guys in a more formal way. Then vendor evaluation happen. Vendors go for a bid placement that hey, I will give you all these features that you've asked, uh, in maybe X amount. Some other will say Y amount. Then obviously there will be some third party or some internal other non-infosec team will be involved for doing a reverse auction, so the company get best of price, um, uh, from the security vendor. So once that's done, once that's frozen, okay, that this is the vendors we are going against with, um, then you do an initial onboarding, you get some trainings done for your team, um, what kind of features they are, how they are covering it, what kind of support they are offering, all on those kind of initial onboarding and training. Then this solution get implemented into your environment. Implementation support is provided by the vendor. If there is some troubleshooting required, there is some, maybe like one binary is not working on one operating system and so on and so forth. So those kind of troubleshooting happens, and those bugs are fixed, or maybe fixed in the next version, stuff like that. So those everything is covered in RFP, and the legal documentation that happens. uh, so once the implementation is done, the vendor will say that okay, this is how you can reach out to us for any issues. You can you can cut a ticket, you can call back the customer success manager, whoever it is. So then they provide the post implementation testing support, and once that's done, the tool is now handed over to security administrators team. So now, we have a new tool involved, incorporated into our organization, actively monitored by SOC. So all these things are taken care by security architecture engineering team, getting new tools, getting new shiny stuff, latest next generation tools and stuff like that into the environment, plugging into the environment, and then ensuring that it's monitored and compliance is met. So how does the infosec overall looks like right now? This is the knowledge that we have learned throughout this video series. So SOC, there is SIEM that is used to monitor security of the company. There is a security administrator team that manages all these tools, and then there is a security architect engineering team who deploys these tools. Now what? So how does they internally connect, right? So incident response, as I mentioned in the previous video, that they will reach out to security administrators for container response. They will threat hunting team similarly reaches out back to security admins for visibility and logging gaps, and similarly these guys reach out back to security architect engineering team that hey, we have this missing features that's essential for something or the other. Okay, from security defense perspective, our threat hunting team can reach out back to architect engineering team that hey, we need a solution to cover this gap. They can present with certain use cases that this solution should cover, and basis the security architect engineering team work backwards uh, to cover those use cases, for to get a solution which covers those use cases. So that's how like overall infosec connects. So far the three verticals. The next one I'll be talking about is governance, risk and compliance. This is, I believe, the uh, most important one, um, even important than SOC, security administrator, and security architect engineering. And there's a reason that I'll explain you afterwards in the next video. Thank you for watching.